would you do if you had a ton of creativity in your mind but just a basic model phone in your hand? I wouldn't know what to do with that, but Mr. Praveen, who's going to be our speaker for the day, definitely did a lot with it. He's working as an engineer at an IT company, but every weekend he just grabs his camera and goes off somewhere to take photos because that's what he truly loves. Being his passion, he has taken wildlife photos, nature photos, photos of buildings, photos of people. Everywhere he goes, he just clicks a snap to immortalize it forever. What will we be talking about during this session? First, about his journey and how he started his whole passion. Then, we'll be talking about monetizing your skill. And if you're good at something, should you definitely monetize it or can you just do it purely for passion? Then we'll be going into the most memorable photo he took and the crazy heights he went to take that photo. We'll then be talking about whether it's important to take a photo or knowing how to aesthetically modify it using tools like Photoshop, Instagram filters, and so on. Finally, we'll also be talking about different compositions and effects you can try and what basic photographers like me with just a phone can do. Like, what are some handy tips and tricks which will help you modify your photos. So stay tuned for the whole episode because by the end, you're going to be completely immersed in the world of photography and we have a lot to find out. Hi Praveen, welcome to the chat. So,
Okay.
all good. So, how are you? So, how's stuff at your full-time job?
Yeah, it's going good. Yeah, I'm balancing between photography and like my full-time job. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, that's great then. So, just to begin with, how did you get into photography? Like, what was the very first photo you took and you were like, I want to do this in my life?
Yeah, I think it started back on 2016.
Oh,
I was
okay.
studying 11th standard.
Okay.
At that time, I wasn't like sure what is photography. I as all others would think. I was thinking like if it is photography, you can take only through a camera, a big camera. So
Yeah.
only a good camera can take good pictures. That was
Yeah.
my thought initially. But suddenly, like I and my classmate like were Facebook friends, and he used to post some photos. I thought initially like he is taking it from somewhere and posting, or maybe he is having a good camera, so that's why he is taking.
Right.
But over the days passed, I was very curious. How is he taking such a good photos? It is not like he is not going traveling somewhere and taking the photos. It was just a photo of a fruit, a flower, like that, but it was very
Yeah.
beautiful. I just asked him, how did you take this? Are you using a camera or something? He told that no, I'm just using a mobile, and I'm capturing it with my Motorola mobile. I was like shocked. Oh, even mobiles can do this kind of things. I thought, okay,
Yeah.
even my friend is having that Motorola mobile. Yeah, I'll try to do that. So I just went and captured the flowers, captured some pots. So it was very looking very beautiful. I thought, yeah, this is nice.
That's
Just
great.
I was started. Yeah, I was exploring everything. I was capturing each and everything around me. I like that. Yeah, this is very good.
Yeah.
And I felt like whatever I see it as beautiful, I'm able to express it to the world. See,
Yeah.
I saw this way. See, you also can see it in this way. See my how I
Exactly.
have captured it. So that's how it started. And it has been like 6 years. This is sixth year. Even I'm not
Yeah.
sure how I am like following it up for 6 long years, and I have learned a lot.
Okay.
And that's how it has started
Amazing.
and moving on.
That's amazing because even I remember when I was in college, actually, in my second year, I studied journalism and we had a course called photojournalism. So, in that, they specifically said you have to buy a DSLR, you have to take photos only with DSLR. But many people, they were taking photos with their mobile camera and it looked exactly like a DSLR. We couldn't even differentiate between the images.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
yeah. So, speaking of which, have you ever tried to monetize your skill? Like, have you gone for any events and done any paid programs or anything?
I've not like got paid for my works. Like
Okay.
sometimes they would give as a return gift for something, but that was there. But coming to events, I was part of the national service team of my college. So at that time, like when I was studying first year of college, I was doing photography with mobile. and there was my friend who was having a DSLR, and I was touching DSLR for the first time. Then I thought,
Right.
wow, this is great. And I started learning about the basics of photography from then. So there is when it through phone, you don't learn much. Like you don't know
Yeah.
about aperture, the
Yeah.
basics of
Shutter
photography,
speed.
aperture, yeah, shutter speed, ISO. These things you don't care in the phone. You just go and just click it. Or
Yeah.
if you are having a phone which has that manual settings, maybe you will try. But
Yeah.
when it comes to DSLR, you need to try that, because you cannot capture every photo with the auto mode. So that's
That's
when
true.
I started touching DSLR, taking pics with DSLR, and later I was able to, like, I bought a DSLR, a basic
Right.
DSLR, which still having Nikon
Right.
D3400, which I'm using. So with that camera, I used to cover the national service scheme event.
Okay.
First, I was a normal volunteer in the national service scheme, and then I was seeing my passion. They asked me to capture the events for the purpose of documentation.
Right.
So that's how I started the event photography. I still like don't do event photography that much, but if someone asks me to do cover, I'll do that. Yeah.
Right.
So that's how. Yeah.
That's good. Actually, it's so nice that you didn't monetize it. Like, this is entirely like your passion. Because I remember I'm really passionate about writing. And I just watched a Batman movie in which you're saying if you're good at something, don't do it for free. So that's why I
Yeah,
went
correct.
to content writing. I was like, I need to monetize this. So it's nice that you're
Yeah, yeah,
doing your
definitely.
passion separately.
Yeah, like when it comes to my passion, like if so my thought of like photography is different, right? I'm not always doing event photography, or
Yeah,
if a friend calls me, I'll just do it for a time or two. But when it comes like when we see it as an art, we cannot like every time do it for free.
exactly.
It is like a betrayal for me as well as the other photographers. I cannot like do it for free. Maybe
Yeah,
one or two time we can do it for free, but we should not be having this as a
yeah,
uh, yeah what
yeah.
to tell. Yeah, we
It
cannot
can get
continue
established.
this for a long.
Yeah,
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 I can capture something personally for myself, but when it comes to events, when it comes to when I'm capturing all these things, after a point of time, I need to charge them, because we are spending much on the equipments, right? If I'm going to capture something professionally, I should buy professional equipment. So the
yeah,
cost goes higher and higher. So at the time, we should get a return for us to invest again.
yeah.
So so we should be charging after a particular point of time. Maybe we can not charge till a particular time, but after that we should
That's
be
true.
like definitely charging.
That's true, definitely. And the point where you said sometimes as return gifts you'll take photos. Like, are you the official photographer in your family for like any friends event, any family function? Like, how's your family responding to everything?
Yes, actually, like if I'm going to a family function, they see me, and yeah, they'll ask me, yeah, you are a photographer,
Right,
come and take good
relatable.
photos. Yeah, sometimes I'll enjoy it, but sometimes yeah, I have come here to enjoy myself. Again I have to do this thing here. So
Yeah,
that's how it feels. But yeah, sometimes it feels good, but yeah.
yeah. And
But
considering the
I'm not like
financial
fully
aspect,
doing.
yeah,
No, no. I'm just telling like I'm not like trying fully like events. I'm not doing fully. If I get the opportunity, I'm doing event
right,
photography for friends or like for family like that. But
right.
generally, I used to explore. Like I used to travel. I used to take landscapes. I love minimalism. The concept of minimalism. There is it is a way of composition. So it is hard for me. It is a challenge for me. Like minimalism is something that this I'm just having a very small subject, very like only one subject in the frame, and there's a huge wide space
No
above it and
birds and everything.
surrounding. Yeah, I just I feel that like through minimalism, like the emptiness, how the emptiness can add beauty to the
Yeah,
subject. Yeah, yeah. So I used to try that. So I'm just like randomly I used to like photograph, travel and photograph. So that's what I'm doing it for my passion, for my happiness. I'm doing that.
definitely. So that brings me to my next question, which was like, I was just going through your Instagram page and your portfolio and everything. There are a lot of crazy photos everywhere. Like, Some of them have like a leopard photo. I have no idea how you took such a close-up shot of that. So, what is the craziest photo you have taken in your life, and what heights did you go to take that photo?
Uh, Craziest photos, like, yeah, it is there. Yeah, like on the fourth year of college, I was studying engineering. So on
Okay.
the fourth year of college, we used to have this IV trips. We used to travel. Uh,
Industrial visit.
yeah, industrial. So we used to travel to other places. So at that time, we went to a place called Chikmagalur, and there was Z
Right.
Point. It's called Z Point in Chikmagalur,
Okay.
and in that place, like there were the rocks which were like hanging, not exactly hanging, but it was like looking to be hanging. So
Right.
many people were taking photographs from there, but we were like, oh, this is very risky. And then my friend told, no, no, we can find a good spot which is safe, as well as you can cover a very good photo. So we found a spot like that, and he went and sat there, and I took a photo. It was
Okay.
we did it very safe, but like it was one of the craziest photos. I shot it in mobile, and
Right. Right.
so
Oh, that's great. Because for me, similar to this, actually, I'd gone to a waterfall in my college time. And literally, I had no lens cap for my DSLR. I had no protection for it. But people were like, just go to the bottom of the waterfall and take a top angle view of it. So I didn't risk my life. I risked my camera's life to take that photo.
yeah.
So on that note, there are people on Instagram and Snapchat and all who just take a photo and then they put a lot of filters and they just make it beautiful just like that. Do you think it's more important to take a photo or to use filters and make it more beautiful?
I definitely don't suggest that filters, but when it comes to a quality photography, I think like how we are concentrating on getting a good photo through our manual settings, as well as on the lighting perspective and on the composition. I also feel that the post processing sector of the photo is also important. You can just do some basic enhancement to bring out the potential of that photo. For
Yeah.
example, you take it in raw mode, and if you can post process it well, and you can get a very good output on that. I'm not speaking about like totally changing the background, totally like spoiling the photo itself. We need to make the originality remain there, and you know just
Highlight
enhance the
the main
photo so that
point.
it looks more good. So
Right.
that is very important. So applying these kind of filters may change the photo itself totally. So I won't suggest that, but yeah, even like everyone does that. Everyone feels happy on doing that. Oh, is this our photo after applying this filter? Wow, this is looking very
Yeah.
good. So yeah, that kind of excitement will be there. But going on, like we should be like do some quality
Yeah.
editing, quality post process.
Definitely. So, what is your take on people like common people who have just a basic model phone, like how you started off with a Motorola, and we were talking about
Yeah.
various different technical terms like ISO, aperture, shutter speed, composition, but general people won't understand such terms. So, if I just have creativity, I have passion, and I have a good quality camera, what are like some tips and tricks you can give to take a quality photo?
Yeah. Suppose if you are just having a phone, you are starting with the phone. Yeah, you can just start with good like learning about compositions. There are so many different types of composition. Like even if you are having a very low quality phone, like low quality camera, that is not an issue to start with. Like you
Yeah,
can just concentrate on compositions. You can learn the basics, everything, and then if you are really interested, if you really like it, you can you can start investing on it. If it really brings you happiness, maybe you can give a try to go to the higher segment. So
right.
yeah, and I also tell that you should definitely have a mentor. For example, for me, I learned all the basics of photography from a YouTube channel, Mr. Vinod V2K Photography. You would have heard
I've
of
heard
him.
of it.
Yeah, so from him, I learned almost all the basics of photography. And then there is Mr. R Prasanna Venkatesh. So
Okay.
from in the YouTube. So I learned like a lot from them. And like there are various random YouTube channels which teach you various compositions, various like lightings, indoor lighting, outdoor lighting, everything. You can learn whatever you want online. So yeah,
Right.
you can start learning and then you can start implementing it, and as you start implementing it, you will learn a lot.
Right.
For example, uh, like first, if you are taking like 20 photos, like 2 photos may look good, but
Yeah.
and as you practice over the years, you just take 5 photos and then in that three will look good. So you can just improve yourself in that,
Yeah.
instead of seeing others like yeah, they are taking that, I have to take the same thing here and I
The
have to like copy
comparison.
the same, instead of,
Yeah.
yeah, instead of doing like that, you can compare it with yourself. I have taken five
Right.
photos in that three have come very good, as how my mind thought. So my mind had this frame, and my mind had this lighting, and when I shot this, it came perfectly as that. So when you come to that stage, it means that you are very good in handling the things. So
Yeah.
you can, yeah. So yeah, that's what I would suggest, like from to start with and go. Even I'm also doing the same thing. And when it comes to inspiration, you should definitely have some inspiration. For example, this minimalism concept itself, I got inspired from this composition by just seeing the Instagram feed. Someone was randomly posting this minimalism photographs. I was like amazed. Wow, this is very good.
Yeah.
So from then I, from then I started, okay, I should also try a similar kind of composition. I'm not copying the whole thing, I'm just
Yeah.
trying that particular composition. So there are various compositions, right? Like very basic, the rule of thirds, and there are so many.
Yeah.
Like that, I feel that it is a way of composition. Minimalism is a way of composition. I'm not sure if it's technically there or not, but I love it. I just shoot it. I just shoot it in that way. I always try to get it. So like that, you can have your you can, over the years, when you how to tell, when you practice photography or even practice any art, you will get to a point where this is my way of doing it. This is how I'll
Yeah.
do it. So like that,
Your
you will find
style.
out your, yeah, your style, correct. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Definitely. And where do you think we are headed as an industry? Because technology is evolving so much. I think even Vivo came up with a phone like Vivo X70 or something, which has gimbal stabilization and everything. And I think even
Yeah.
my basic model phone has like 4 cameras on the back. So with technology
Yeah.
enhancing like so much, where do you think we are headed with photography? Like, will there be a point where we don't even need DSLRs anymore? Mobile phones are enough.
uh, no, I'll not tell like that. A mobile phone is a mobile phone, a DSLR is a DSLR, a
Yeah.
mirrorless camera is a mirrorless camera. You cannot compare anything. So your mobile is giving you a good photo, but you cannot compare it with a DSLR. You cannot compare it
Yeah.
with a mirrorless camera. So the sensor size itself varies. You in the DSLR itself, you have crop body, you have full frame. So
Right.
like that. When it comes to phone, it's a very small sensor. So they are just there's a concept called pixel binding. So that's a different concept. So we cannot compare like photography like with camera, like with DSLRs, mirrorless, and
Yeah.
phone. My phone can take better than your DSLR. Some people would say I'm having an iPhone, so my iPhone has can take more good pictures than your. Yeah, you can say that, but yeah, you will understand that it is different.
Right.
So when it comes to like where we are heading towards on the part of technology, on this on the side of technology, I feel that like we started with film cameras, like the people
Yeah.
started with film cameras, and then the digital things came up, and like it is definitely going to evolve. Like we had DSLRs, and then we are having mirrorless now. So it is going to be evolving, but what I think is the basics of photography, the whole concept is going to remain the same, and these improvements can just uh, uh, help you in minimalizing your work. Like you can reduce your work. So for example, I'll just give you an example. For example, at the starting, so, consider my camera. I just have a like a normal, consider that I'm having a normal focus. So now on the, when the technology is improving, now there is something called eye focus. So
Yeah.
eye autofocus, it will
Yeah.
directly like, yeah, it will automatically with
When
the
you
help
move
of
the camera,
AI,
it will focus on its
uh,
own.
yeah. So if, since you are having that feature, you cannot tell you are going to take a great photo, right? You should have the shutter speed and you should have your aperture, everything balanced, and you should wait for that particular time, and you should have a composition in your mind, and then only you will be able to click. So that focus part is just helping you with it is just reducing your work. It is just
Yeah.
allowing you to easily capture that photo, easily focus that. So that's what it's doing, but the basics of photography is remaining the same. So if you learn the basics of photography, whatever the advanced technology is coming, it is going to help you a lot. So that's what I think, I feel.
Definitely. So, what I'm gaining from what you're saying is it doesn't matter what technology is there, what kind of equipment you have. It depends on the person who's
Correct.
taking the photo. If you have the
Yes,
talent,
correct.
if you have the passion, even with a basic model phone,
Yes,
you can take professional photos.
yes, correct. Yes.
Definitely. So, thank you so much for taking so much time out for this. We have gained a lot of insights, especially I'm not going to underestimate my phone anymore. I'm going to take a lot more
Yeah.
photos with that. Is there anything I missed out which you would like to add on?
I think we are good. Like you have covered a lot of things. If you want, you can ask some more questions. I'm good to answer them.
Sure, sure. Cool. Then that's it from my end. Thank you so much. It's been almost 20 minutes. Thank you so much for taking so much time.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me here. There are a lot of passionate photographers like me. So yeah, thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that interview, Praveen. We got so many insights out of that, and honestly, I am inspired to take more photos. Honestly, he started off with just a basic phone camera and still he's been killing it in the industry. But I actually have such a qualified phone with me. I even have a DSLR with me. What is stopping me? So, this was definitely an eye opener for me, and I'm sure it was for you guys as well. I'm definitely going to be using these tips and tricks. I'm probably going to start with minimalism like he did as well. What was one thing you got away from this interview? And what is one photography style that you're planning to try? If you are a photographer yourself, what's one style that you're totally pursuing right now, and what's something you'd like to learn in the future? Definitely keep the conversation going in the comment section, and thanks so much for watching this video. Do let us know who we can interview next and what topics you would like to watch here. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.